Hello and welcome to Joe's Knows NFL Episode 2. Today we're going to be doing the AFC predictions and the Week 1 predictions. Last episode, you saw a whole different panel and a whole different prompt. This week, we had the AFC predictions. We're going to start off with that. But before that, we'll get through the panel. We got Will Kukowski, Matt Freeman, Dom Urbafina, and me, Jack Kemler. And of course, right before we get into these division predictions, we're going to remind you guys from last episode. You get 50 points for teams placements in division correctly. 100 extra points if you get the full division correctly. And when we move on to those week predictions, you get 5 points for every game picked correctly and 25 extra points if you get 10 plus games correct in a week. But just starting things off with the AFC East, Will, who do you have taking on that division?
I'm going to go with the New York Jets here. Really good defense coming out last year. Their money. Second off, I'm going to take the Bills. I'm going to have a little bit of decline. I'm not really that big on Josh Allen this year. Third, I'm going to have the Dolphins. They're going to just be – the Dolphins are so good. They could win a lot of other divisions. They're just stuck with this division. And fourth, the Patriots. Patriots, real quick on them, not a big fan of what I see on the field of what they're doing. Bill Belichick's been running this scheme, and he hasn't stepped away from it. And it hasn't really worked since Brady's left. And he still goes back to it. They're just going to be an average team. And in this division, you can't be anything better than elite.
All right, Matt. Will's list was very different from other analysts. What do you have?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Jets, then Bills, then Dolphins, then Patriots as well. And the team I want to highlight here is the Bills. They've been the kings of this division the past couple of years. And now I think the Jets, due to their big additions, are going to overtake them. But I still think that the Bills are going to be a playoff team. I like them a lot. I think Josh Allen, although he's very turnover prone, this offense has been moving the past couple of years. The defense was fantastic. They were sixth. That's the sixth best defense in the league in terms of points allowed per game last year. That's not really going to change. So I still think this strong base for the Buffalo Bills will easily allow them to make the playoffs. But I just think that the Jets are going to take the division this year.
Dom?
So I think the Jets, Dolphins, Bills, and then the Patriots. I want to highlight the Dolphins. I think they're better than the Bills by far. I think they have one of the best offenses in the league. They get Jalen Ramsey in the offseason, but they get injured for more than half of the year. Their defense isn't great, but I still think their offense with Tua healthy could carry them a long way.
All right, to end things out for the AFC East, I do have my Jets in the top spot. I just really think now with Aaron Rodgers, we've been seeing it in Hard Knocks and preseason clips that Rodgers in this offense has been working very well. I know the offensive line has some question marks, you could say, but I still think this Jets team is going to do very good. Ranked the second defense last year. I only see them getting better as they're still a very young defense. Second off, I have the Bills, who I still think is declining. Third, the Dolphins, and the fourth, the Patriots. Next up, we're moving on to the AFC West. Matt, if you want to start that one off.
Yeah, I think with no surprise, I'm going to have the Chiefs being number one in that division. I'm actually going to have the Chargers number 2, Broncos number 3, Raiders number 4. And the team I want to focus in on right now is the Broncos. I have them a lot higher. I have them almost tied with the Chargers this year based on record. You add Sean Payton, one of the best offensive minds to ever coach football, with a struggling Russell Wilson last year, but we know how good he can be. He has some weapons. Javonte Williams coming back from injury. That defense is fantastic. Pat Surtain, who I believe is the best corner in the entire NFL. Justin Simmons. With a solid O-line, I really think that Sean Payton, he's taking no prisoners right now, and he's going to turn this Broncos team around and I believe propel them to a winning season.
Dom, your AFC West predictions?
Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders. I think the team I want to highlight is the Chiefs. Can't go wrong. Best quarterback in the league. If Chris Jones doesn't sign, there could be a major problem on the defensive side. That could cost them a couple games. They don't have a lot of weapons besides Travis Kelce. Like Kadarius Toney, but he's always injured. I don't see Sky Moore being that great, but I still think they're going to come out on top with Patrick Mahomes and how much skill he has.
Yeah, me personally, I'm going to go with the Chiefs, then Chargers, then Raiders, then Broncos. I'm sorry, I have the Broncos that low. I just don't think they're that good of a team. But to highlight those Chargers, I've talked about it in the previous episode. I think Kellen Moore going to the Chargers is a huge step up for that offense, and they're also adding Quentin Johnson. They're getting back Rashawn Slater from injury. I just think everything's coming together for the Chargers to make a wild card run because you just can't really beat those Chiefs at the top of the division. But Will, what's your AFC West predictions?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same as Matt. I have Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, then the Raiders. Real quick, I mean the Raiders keep them on the bottom. And nobody really talks about them. Some of them they're up in the list. But I'm really not a big fan of what they got going on, as well as when I have the Patriots. Like Josh McDaniels, as a coach, is just an absolute mess. Chandler Jones, going public about his discontent feelings towards the team, towards the coaching staff. Jimmy Garoppolo, the signing wasn't really great. Devontae Adams really doesn't feel comfortable with it. I feel like not a lot of these players, the star power that the Raiders hold won't be able to excel under this offense, as they usually are held back behind the coaching staff and other factors. I just don't really like what they got going on, and the defense just isn't good. So that's why I have them at the bottom.
All right, so we'll move on to the AFC South. Dom, if you want to start that one off.
So for what I got is Jaguars, Titans, Texans, and Colts. And the team I want to highlight is the Jaguars. Calvin Ridley. I'm sure everybody's seen that video of him being insanely fast running routes. I mean, the offense was already explosive. Adding him, it's even more explosive. They have I think, in my opinion, they have a solid defense. Nothing too special, but can definitely do the job. If they want to be elite, then I think they need to take a step up.
All right, so for my AFC South predictions, I also have the Jags, Titans, Texans, and Colts. I guess I'll talk about the Titans. One of the more boring teams in the NFL. It's not a team you want to throw on your TV every Sunday, but Tannehill has been doing the job the past couple of years, getting that starting job again with two young QBs behind him. Then Derrick Henry at that running back is always going to put up points for those Titans. One guy I like to break out this season for those Tennessee Titans is Treylon Burks. I think if Tannehill really creates a connection with him, I think you can't really see A.J. Brown type level, but you can see a connection with those two and actually get a passing game going on that Titans team. So, Will, who do you have in your AFC South with the Colts?
Yeah, I'm gonna start off going with the Jaguars winning it. I mean, the Jaguars are gonna sweep this division. It's easy. Then I'm gonna take the Titans, Texans, and Colts. I mean, the Titans, not very exciting as you said, yes, but they are gonna win games. They do it every year. They have an above-average defense, even though they defended the pass the worst out of any team last year. They stop the run very well. They have very good interior D linemen. But, team I want to highlight here especially is going to be the Colts. Last year you guys might have remembered, big Colts fan. But it's just, I'm not going to be as outraged as I was this year. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't like anything about this Colts team. They're really not going to be amazing offensively or defensively. And, that's why they're dead last.
Matt.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a pretty much a chalk pick here. I'm going to take the Jags, number 1, Titans 2. I'm going to go Texans, then Colts. And I really want to focus in on the Texans. Me being a huge Ohio State fan, I'm a big believer in C.J. Stroud. And I think this is just a development year for them. They have a lot of young pieces. And when you get your young franchise guy, a quarterback, I think this is a great situation for him. He has a very solid O-line, Shaq Mason, and then one of the best left tackles in the league, Laramie Tunsil. It's great to have a good base, a good offensive line for a young quarterback. And, I mean, you look at these young weapons, and I'm really liking what I see, like Dameon Pierce at running back. You have Dalton Schultz, a great pickup from the Cowboys last year. I mean, you're looking at Will Anderson, the number 3 overall pick in last year's draft. He could be a difference maker. Derek Stingley, he's starting to get his feet under him. I'm really liking what I'm seeing as a nice young base for this Texans team. I think it's a development year for them. I think Will Anderson needs to get acclimated, so does C.J. Stroud. So I don't expect too much success, but I think it's going to be a huge year for them going forward in the upcoming years.
All right, so for the last division in the AFC North, could be the most exciting. We have 4 really solid teams in this AFC North. I'll start off with my predictions. I'm going to go first, the Bengals, second, Steelers making the playoffs, 3, the Browns, and then 4, the Ravens. I'm going to really highlight this Browns team. I really think we've seen that in the past when Deshaun Watson plays a full season, which he hasn't since 2020, which granted is a very long time, and I get that. So this is all really hypothetical, but I think when he plays his full season, he's going to finally turn not fully back into his old self, but really turning into one of the superstars he was a couple years ago. And I think in the running game, Nick Chubb finally having his own backfield, Kareem Hunt in free agency, not going to sign back with the Browns. I think Chubb is going to have an amazing year. And that wide receiver core is still very good. They just got Elijah Moore last season during the deadline, who I think could surprise some people. Have a very good year. And Amari Cooper, the veteran, always going to get those yards and touchdowns that those Browns needs. And that defense, very solid. I think they could maybe sneak their way into playoffs, but there's so many good teams in this AFC. I don't see them doing it, but that 3 spot in the AFC North for me over the Ravens is really the hot take I have. Will, who do you have for that AFC North?
Yeah, that is a very hot take. I'm going to have to go Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Browns. Just like you, I'm down on the Ravens. But, I mean, really going to highlight here the Bengals at 1. They are just so good again. The Steelers, Dom, big Steelers fan, he'll talk about them. They're going to take a very big step up this year in my head. But I just don't think they're going to be able to be better than the Bengals. Bengals just keep getting better here. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. I mean, it's like that duo is going to be nearly unstoppable all year. They're going to put up a lot of points. The defense, isn't elite, but they'll do their job. And I think this Bengals team was a shot to win all this year.
Matt?
Yeah, I'm really not understanding where all this Ravens hate is coming from. Real quick, I have the Bengals winning this division still. I have the Ravens coming in second, then Steelers, then the Browns. I really don't understand all of this Ravens disrespect. They have a very, very, very sound offensive line. Ronnie Stanley, one of the best left tackles in the entire league. Tyler Linderbaum, a great center. And Kevin Zeitler, one of the best right guards in the game. Very, very, very good offensive line. Defense was 3rd in the league in points allowed per game last year, so they have an elite defense. And then now we're surrounding Lamar Jackson, a former MVP who is in his prime, with weapons for the first time in his entire career. Now he has Zay Flowers, an electrifying rookie. Rashad Bateman is healthy. They acquired Odell. And then obviously Mark Andrews. This is the most weapons that has ever been on a Ravens team with Lamar Jackson quarterbacking their offense. They have a very elite defense, and their offensive line looks fantastic. I just don't see how you guys have them coming in last in the division. So I'm really high on this Ravens team. I think they do have a chance to win the division, but I'll still go with the Bengals.
Dom?
So for me, I got the same as well. I got the Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, and Browns. But I want to highlight the Steelers. I think overall, offense and defense, they've made a massive leap in the offseason. Especially in the draft, getting Broderick Jones, Joey Porter Jr., Nick Herbig. I think all around, Kenny Pickett's looking really great in preseason. 199 yards, 13 for 15, perfect passer rating, and every single drive has led to a touchdown. I think our defense is just going to be even better than it was in the past years. We got Patrick Peterson. I think it's looking really good for us this year.
All right, so that'll be it for our AFC division predictions. And finally, we're going to get to our game predictions. Of course, these are going to count for points towards the end of the season. Get 5 points for every game correctly pick, and 25 extra points for getting 10 games correct in a week. We'll start things off with, it should be tonight. We're filming this on a Thursday, but it's probably not going to come out on the Thursday. You will see it before. You already know the outcome of this game. So, Will, who do you have for this Thursday night football? Detroit Lions versus the Chiefs.
Yeah, I was really convinced. The Lions originally, no Chris Jones, no Travis Kelce, but look through the numbers. I mean, Chiefs are still I think it was 8-4 without those guys. They're just gonna keep doing their thing. It's Mahomes. I just don't think this Lions defense is strong enough yet to be able to withstand Mahomes. Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Lions here. I understand the allure of the Chiefs, but I think the biggest problem is how heavily they rely on Travis Kelce, especially with these weapons coming and going. During Mahomes' tenure, Kelce has been the reliable guy, and they were game planning with him being the focal point of that offense until he goes down earlier this week. So I'm going to have to go with the Lions. I think the Chiefs' offense will adapt, But losing Chris Jones on the defensive side of things, he's a game wrecker. He's the best defensive player by far on Kansas City's team. And then you look at the Lions. This is a very young team, a very motivated team. Jared Goff coming off a great year last year. I understand it's in Kansas City. I just think the Lions will pull this one out.
I'm gonna have to agree with Matt here too as well. I think Lions have a great offense with Amon-Ra, Gibbs, Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff had a great year last year. There is some questions on the defense, but at the same time, there's same thing as well for the Chiefs. Chris Jones being out is a big factor.
Yeah, so for me, I think I'm going to have to take the Chiefs here. Just when you look past Mahomes' Week 1 performances since 2018, since his debut, he has not lost in Week 1. He has thrown more than 2 TDs each performance, has done very well each Week 1. I think that's going to take him over. Even though Travis Kelce might not play at 100%, I still like those weapons on that team. And the Lions definitely are going to be one of the better teams in that NFC, but I just think it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks to finally get them to full form. I think the Chiefs are going to take the first one. Now, first 1 p.m. game, Carolina Panthers at the Falcons. Will, who do you have?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Falcons. I expect a big game out of Bijan. He's going to tear apart this Carolina defense.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Falcons as well. I think that it's going to be a little bit too much for Bryce Young and that Panthers offense to handle with this stout Falcons secondary. A.J. Terrell will be putting the clamps on the Panthers, and I think that running game with Bijan is going to wear the Panthers down, so I'll take the Falcons.
I'm just going to say the same thing pretty much. Falcons are probably going to win this one. Bijan should have a good game. I also like Drake London. I think he's going to have a great year this year, and
Yeah, clean sweep for the Falcons here. I also agree with what all you said. Bijan Robinson's going to run all over this Panthers defense. Next game, which should be another clean sweep, Houston Texans at the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I'll take the Ravens by a bunch here.
Not much to say here, Ravens.
Yep, easy sweep there. Moving on to a pretty good game. Bengals at Browns at 1 o'clock. Will?
Yeah, this should really be a too good of a game. I think the Bengals are going to blow out the Browns. I don't care if it's in Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns here. I think that they're coming back ready to go. Nick Chubb, finally the only running back in that backfield. I think it's pretty unanimous. He's an easy top 3 running back in the game, and now he's getting all the touches out of that backfield. It's in Cleveland. They got that defense ready to go. Myles Garrett should be healthy, ready to go. I just think the Browns will take this one in a bit of an upset.
I'm going to take the Bengals in this one, but I would not be surprised if the Browns come away with it. Deshaun Watson, if he plays like he used to, it's over for the league. He was insane.
Yeah, I'm going to have the Browns taking this one. I just think Joe Burrow, who is playing Week 1, isn't fully 100% in this game, and you don't want that in a really competitive divisional game. We'll go to you before we get to the next game.
I would like to add something. I said it last video. I'm going to say it again just to remind anyone who's out there. Joe Burrow is like a dog. He's had 6 weeks to rest and heal a calf strain. He's going to be more than 100%. He'll be 140% for Week 1. I think he's going to perform because of how rested he is.
Well, I'm just saying because he was questionable the whole time until the past couple of days. They finally ruled him as healthy, which doesn't mean he's fully 100%. I just think in a divisional matchup that takes the Browns over the edge. Next up in another divisional matchup should be an easy one though. Jags at Colts.
Yeah, Indy's gonna be. I think it's sold out for the first time since the second game last year. Big environment, but I'm gonna take the Jaguars by 36.
Yeah, the Jags are going to do a number on the Colts. Calvin Ridley is going to be a huge addition to that offense, and this is going to be ugly.
Yeah, they pretty much said it all. I got the Jaguars by a lot.
Yeah, this is pretty easy. Richardson, 3+ interceptions, I think I'm predicting. The next game, we got Buccaneers at the Vikings for another 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Vikings here. Their offense is too good. The Buccaneers let up something, I think the 31st most passing yards last year. The Vikings were the 30th. So this would be a shootout, exceeding the fact the Buccaneers don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, it's plain and simple, the Vikings can throw the ball and the Bucks can't defend that. So the Vikings are going to win this one, and it's going to happen pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Vikings as well. I'm a big fan of their offense this year. They got a lot of weapons.
Yeah, way too many weapons. Adding Jordan Addison as well. We have a clean sweep here. Everybody picking the Vikings. Next one, got 3 more 1 o'clock games. This one, Titans at Saints. Will.
I'm going to take the Saints at home here. Titans, I said they're going to win games, but I think the Saints are also one of those teams who just kind of drags along, winning games here and there. I think the Saints are just a little bit more explosive this year and a bit stronger on the defensive side.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Saints as well. I think they're both strong defenses, but Derek Carr does look very good in the preseason. Chris Olave is emerging after what was a great rookie year. He could be transitioning into a true wide receiver 1 in the NFL. So, yeah, I'll take the Saints pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Saints as well. Love Chris Olave. I even like Michael Thomas this year. I think he could have a solid year as well. And even later in the year when Kamara comes back, I'm sure they'll be even better.
Yeah, I'm not going to get the clean sweep. I think the Titans are going to win this one away. I can't go all chalk picks. I think Mike Vrabel, you give him enough time to game plan against the Saints offense who hasn't really gelled together yet. I think the Titans take this week 1 matchup. Next one is a really huge game. 49ers at Steelers, 1 o'clock. Will, who do you have?
I was originally going to take the Steelers, but I just switched up, pick the 49ers here. I just feel like the 49ers aren't going to repeat what happened last year. I think they're going to come out extra hungry, extra ready to go. They're not going to lose this game again after they blew to the Bears. So I'm going to have them taking the week 1 victory.
So this whole Brock Purdy story, Mr. Irrelevant, it was a fantastic story at the end of last year. I don't know how it will play out as a week 1 starter in the NFL, so I'm going to go with the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I think they're too much of a sound team. Tomlin's one of the best coaches in the NFL. So, yeah, give me the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Matt there. I don't think Brock Purdy's ready for the defense that we have this year. They're looking great all around. George Kittle is questionable. If he's out, it's the big part of their offense.
Yeah, 2 players are questionable, Kittle and Nick Bosa on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm also going to take the Steelers. I think they have a very hot week 1. Like you said, this is going to be a top 5 head coach matchup. Definitely 2 of the best minds in the NFL. Now moving on, pretty easy game here. Cardinals at Commanders. Will, who do you have?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Sam Howell and the Commanders.
I'm going to take Sam Howell and the Commanders as well. Watch for Sam Howell to have a very, very, very promising start, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Commanders as well.
Yeah, I don't know about Sam Howell having that good of a season, but, I'll take the Commanders here as well. As Cardinals team is pretty much abysmal, looking for that first pick, and Caleb Williams. Starting off with the 425 games, you have the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. Will?
It's a really good matchup. I don't even know how to pick it. Except for the fact that I just think the Packers are the better defensive team, or the much better defensive team. And I just really like their running back duo. I think it's going to be going all day. I don't think the Bears will find a way to stop it. And Jordan Love debut, we're gonna see what he could do. The offense is his, but I don't think he's gonna have that big of a game. The running back duo is gonna carry the Packers over the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, it's Jordan Love's first week 1 start of his career, obviously. In Chicago, divisional matchup, that's a really tough game to have your first week 1 start in. Justin Fields has been doing. He's coming off of a good year last year. I think he's going to take the next step as a passer, especially with some added weapons like DJ Moore. So I'll take the Chicago Bears here.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears as well. I love the Justin Fields, DJ Moore connection. I feel like that they could really go off this year, as well as Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs have both not practiced the past 2 days. So if they're not playing, then, it's looking rough for that offense.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge obstacle for the Packers to get over it, but I'm going to take the Packers. Something about this Bears defense I really don't like, and as I said before, you can't always go chalk. So many surprises happen in these weekly picks. I think Jordan Love has an outstanding week 1 debut. Next up, we have an AFC West divisional matchup here. Raiders at the Broncos.
You guys have been very high in the Broncos so far in these picks. I'm not. I'm going to take the Raiders, even though, at Mile High, I don't like the Raiders. I don't like the Broncos. in this matchup, I like the Raiders a little bit more. They're a little bit more. I know new quarterback, but I just all the injuries on the Broncos. I don't like their offense. Might score 8 points, maybe 9. They're going to miss the extra point, kick a field goal, but they're not going to score more than 10 points. So I think the Raiders win 17-10.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos here, and just to respond to that, I'm going to think they're going to score 24 or more points. I'm really loving this offense with Sean Payton, and Russell Wilson's in for a huge bounce back year.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos as well. I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is just not a good fit for this offense. Not a big fan of him, and I think even with Judy out, Courtland Sutton could step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I don't like either of these teams as well, like Will said, but I'm going to take the Raiders. And like Will said, I don't like this Broncos offense as well. I think Sean Payton really going to try and overutilize this offense. Going to try and turn Williams into a Kamara and Wilson into a Breeze, and it's just not going to work out. That offense is really just not good. Moving on to the next game, maybe the best matchup of the week. We have the Dolphins at the Chargers, 425.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers here. A big part that I feel like everybody's missing out on the Chargers analysis was the fact that Justin Herbert, did damage his rib and was playing with a hurt rib for the entire year. In that week 1 matchup, hurt it against the Chiefs, had to play with it the entire year and still had a very, very talented looking season. He looked he looked like a top 5 quarterback on the field. The stats didn't show, but I mean, he's fully healthy this year. It's his realm. I think this Chargers team is going to be really talented, just a really talented group of guys this year.
I'm going to take the Chargers as well. Very explosive offense. They get Slater back on the offensive line. Quentin Johnston's going to be added to that passing game. And also the Chargers were the 7th best team against the pass last year with an injured Joey Bosa. And this Dolphins team loves to throw the ball. I don't think it's a great matchup for Miami, so I'll take the Chargers.
I don't have to disagree. As I said earlier, I love the Dolphins. I think they have one of the best offenses in the league. I mean, no one can really guard Tyreek Hill. He's too fast, and to pair him up with Jalen Waddle. And yeah, I think they're just going to take this one.
Yeah, you would think the Dolphins might have too many weapons, but I think the Chargers have too many weapons. Expect Quentin Johnston to get involved early in the season in that Chargers offense. I have them taking this one. 2 more 425 games. We have the Philadelphia Eagles at the New England Patriots.
Yeah, I'm going to have the Eagles winning this one.
So I'm going to surprise a whole lot of people right now. I've been going with a lot of chalk throughout most of these picks, but this is just the type of game that Bill Belichick wins. It's a season opener. It's in New England. So I'll take the New England Patriots to shock the defending NFC champions.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I'm going to take the Eagles. I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots keep it close, but I think they just have a great overall team.
Yeah, I love the addition of DeAndre Swift in that offense. I think it's going to open up the run game even more with Miles Sanders, who wasn't that great as a running back, and DeAndre Swift has shown a lot of talent in his years before. I have the Eagles taking this week 1 matchup. Last 425 game is the LA Rams at the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks at home. This is going to be a blowout.
I'm going to take the Seahawks as well. I'm super high on them. And then you look at the Rams, they're missing a whole lot of weapons. They don't really have much going for them, so Seahawks big.
Yeah, with Cup out, for sure taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, like you all said, I mean, JSN is also starting week 1, which is a huge shocker to see on that breaking news. So Seahawks is a clean sweep there. Now the 2 primetime games of a Sunday night football. Of course, we're missing our sad Guac. We want him here for this pick, but I think we'll surprise him with the Dallas Cowboys at New York Giants.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna make this pick with Jock My Heart. Shout out him, miss him a lot. I'm gonna take the Dallas Cowboys by 15 or 15 plus. I'll take.
Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys as well. I got one of the best defenses in the league. It's a big Dak bounce back year, and Tony Pollard finally gets to be the lead back.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Cowboys as well. I just think the Giants don't stand a chance.
Yeah, I expect the Cowboys defense to swallow up the run game and Tony Pollard to have an amazing rush game in the Sunday Night Football. Last game of the week 1 is a Monday Night Football on 9/11 at MetLife. It's going to be a huge game with a lot of storylines. Buffalo Bills at New York Jets. Will, who do you have?
I mean, this game was written up by one of the best storytellers ever. this game fits so perfectly in the NFL script. It's so obviously going to be the Jets. They're going to win on a Hail Mary or something crazy, but the Jets are winning this one.
I actually agree with Will. I mean, it's just a fantastic story. The Jets with all of these additions. It's 9-11 in New Jersey, but New York's team. So I think the Jets, although they're the better team, the storylines play into it perfectly. I'll take the Jets.
Yeah, even though it's boring, I mean, I'm going to take the Jets too. You know, I really love Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson. And as I said before, you know, I'm not a big fan of Josh Allen. You know, led the league in interceptions last year. You know, I could see Jets defense really helping them out a lot.
Yeah, it's one of the better things to see. Last year, you would never see 4 people picking the Jets over the Bills, but this year it's a different story. Week 1, Jets are getting a 4-0 sweep from us, and that'll do it for us for the AFC predictions and Week 1 predictions. Of course, follow us on TikTok at St. Joe's Sports Shows. So for Will Kukowski, Matt Freeman, Dom Marafina, me, Jack Kemler, thanks for watching.